Good evening, everyone. My name is Tamarah Sahi, and today I will be sharing my story. I wanted to start with nice stories about growing up in Iraq. But unfortunately, the war started when I was only 5 years old. I belong to a minority group called Mandaean. Very peaceful people who always try to live quietly and respectfully. Not many of you know about this group. Mandaeans are followers of John the Baptist. The Mandaean are originally native speakers of Mandaic, a Semitic language that evolved from Aramaic. The Mandaean community before the war was numbered at 70,000. After the 2003 war, a civil war started, and minorities were the easy targets. Many of them were killed or fled the country, leaving only 10,000. As a grown-up now, looking back to our life was like an action movie. Day by day, no peaceful sleep, bombs and shootings everywhere. After we were threatened with death, my parents decided to flee Iraq. In 2013, I fled to Jordan with my parents and 6 siblings. At that time, I was 15 years old, and my siblings were between 7 and 24 years old. We were under the UN protection in Jordan for a year and a half. It was a welcoming country, but we couldn't have a stable life, as it was a temporary home for us to move on to any country which would offer safety and good future. It was a very hard time for my siblings and I, as we missed going to schools and couldn't do any activities except waiting for our visas. I missed about 2 years of school over this time. The day that Australian embassy called and offered us a humanitarian visa was the day I felt like I was born again. I had mixed feeling about going to Australia though. I was happy and excited to have the chance to go back to school, but I was anxious about the language, as I wasn't good at English at all. The 2nd of February 2015 is the date when a new chapter of my life started. This was the day that we landed in Sydney. Everything was new to me, the lifestyle, the people, the food, but the main thing was the language. I struggled a lot to pick up the language. I went to intensive English center for 6 months before I started year 11. This was my first real challenge in Australia, studying year 11 content while still learning the language itself. With the practice and listening to Love Story by Taylor Swift, my English improved. And I finished year 12 after spending days and nights studying to achieve a good mark and to go to university. In 2018, I graduated from high school and I started my first year of double degree in Bachelor's of Fine Art and Education in University of New South Wales. But during COVID, when I had the time to reflect, I realized I didn't want to be a teacher, and I decided to stop the course. In thinking about my future career, I was influenced by my brothers. 3 of them work in construction, so engineering and construction were often a topic of conversation at home. Piling, for example, was sometimes discussed at dinner. I always tried to be part of this conversation. One day in 2020, sitting around the kitchen table, I had a chat with my brothers about the best way as a female to enter the construction industry, and they suggested engineering. I applied for Bachelor of Civil Engineering at Western Sydney University, and I got the offer after a few months, and I started in 2021. Last year, I became aware of CareerSeekers when I overheard 2 students in my tutorial class talking about this program. At that time, I didn't know them, but was very curious and interested about it. I gathered my strength, and I asked them about this program, and they shut me down. Just kidding. They were helpful and gave me the link to apply. These 2 students are actually with us today. Fadi, who interned with Fulton Hogan, and Paolo, who interned with Lend-Lease. I joined CareerSeekers, and I was successful at getting an internship with John Holland at Sydney Gateway Project last summer. The internship has helped me to understand the practical side of engineering. It has also grown my interest in different fields. For example, I worked for a few weeks with the civil team, then I moved to work with the structure team. Getting an internship at this project would not have been possible without CareerSeekers. I am now confident about my decision to pursue engineering and optimistic about the future. I am very thankful for the opportunity that being part of the program has given to me. I am also grateful for the strength my parents have passed on to me. I am pleased to have them here tonight with us. I have learned over my life to never regret a day. Good days give you happiness, and bad days give you experience. Thank you.